G'day folks, it's Phil from Phil. I'm sorry, I was on drugs at the time this was recorded. G'day, it's Phil from 15minuteguitarpractice.com. Today I'd like to share with you a beautiful little musical motif to include in your playing, and it's scattered around some of the most famous tracks in popular music. The thing I like about this little motif is you can use it in both a minor and a major context. It doesn't involve playing it differently, it just involves your point of reference being at a different point on the fretboard. Okay, so what is it, Phil? You're dying to know. Okay, it's basically starts as a one finger bar that goes across the 4th, 3rd and 2nd strings. Like that. Okay, so that's your starting phrase. Now we don't play the top E because that sounds weird. Just go. So you can either do this, take pinky and rest it on the top E as you play. So the top E will never ring. Or you just maybe, if you're a little more advanced, then it turns out that you just know, your right hand knows your strings a little better, and it just doesn't go and hit that E string. Okay, so that's our first bit. The next bit is it's kind of like a double hammer-on. You're hammering on 2 notes at the same time, which sounds like a freaking nightmare, but actually it's not too bad. Okay, so the shape you're going to bring down, the 2nd finger is going to hammer on to the 2nd string, 1 fret up from your 1 finger bar, like that, and your 3rd finger is going to hammer on the 4th string, 2 frets up from your 1 finger bar. See if I can move this finger out of the way and just show you that. Okay, so they're coming down together, so you've got your 1 finger bar, and you've got bringing the fingers down like that. Okay, so let's deal with that in a major context. In a major context, your point of reference is the note that's 1 string up and 2 frets below. So in this example, we're going to use a D. Okay, so a D root 5 shape. Okay, you'll see it's kind of like a sus4 thing, if you know what sus4 is. If you don't worry, you'll know the sound. You don't need to know the names. Okay, that's a regular sus4. If you're playing with chords, this is kind of, and you hear it in stuff like, and you've heard it in, I think that's a kind of Stonesy thing. There's a band called Reef who've got a song called Place Your Hands. It's in a drop D, but don't worry about that. It goes like this. Actually, that was terrible. Let me try that again. Okay, you get the idea. I've also heard it in Ain't Nothing But a Good Time by Poison, which is one of my favourite tracks. I love 80s hair metal, but I've also heard Brian May and Queen use it for stuff. But anyway, for Nothing But a Good Time, it's in A, I think, and it's really high up. I may do something up there in some track, but I'm not that familiar with Queen stuff, but yeah, you would have heard that. Okay, so that's that little motif, that double hammer on, in a major context. Now, in a minor context, works just as good. The only difference is that in a minor context, your point of reference, where were we? We were here. Your point of reference is now just one string above where your first finger bar ends. So your point of reference is on the 5th string. So before we were doing something major sounding like. Now if I put the I'm not playing anything different out of the little motif, but against that note sounds completely different. And you get that in things like Long Train Running by the Doobie Brothers. You've got you've also got it in things like Slow Dancing in a Burning Room by John Mayer, which I think is down here. You get the idea. So in the major context, it's a sus4 type thing. In a minor context, it's actually just a piece of a minor 7, a root 5 minor 7 shape. But it's incredibly versatile. In a minor context, I just thought of another one. Classic Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. You've got we are the Sultans of Swing. Okay, so yeah. So yeah. So a little musical motif, it's great, it's versatile, and it's really, really melodic, really usable. Lots of practical application, and I hope you can work it into your playing somewhere along the line. Okay, that's all for me today, and I hope that you fit it in where you like to fit it in, and enjoy your playing. Alright, bye for now.